Hey everybody. Hey. Hey
Hey,
cousin.
how are you
Today
doing?
we're celebrating your book release. How you feeling?
I feel great, thank you.
I'm so excited for you. I know this
Yes,
is a long time coming, but it's
yes,
here. Your
it is
book
here.
here.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. Unconditional love. Yes, yes, yes.
This is super exciting to say that you wrote a novel. So I want to know, or the people want to know, what inspired you to write this novel?
Well, I wouldn't say I was a nerd, but I used to love reading books, biographies, memoirs. I especially love Danielle Steele novels, romance novels. But I had written poems and things like that. But it was actually when I was in nursing school when I first thought about writing a book. So I contemplated a couple of years before. It was like 2011 when I first started writing the first rough draft of Unconditional Love. December, as a matter of fact, 2011. So it's been 9 years since I wrote that first
When I first
sentence.
started writing.
Yes, that first sentence um, to the first rough draft. So it's been a long time coming. It took me 9 years, but I finally finished it. A lot of things were going on, but by the grace of God, I got it done. I kept pressing on to finish it. So the
Well,
biggest thing was me just writing, just start writing. Whatever came to my mind is to write.
that's
Hmm.
awesome. So, 9 years is really not that long when you're a mother of three and you're a full-time nurse and, you're a daughter, all of those things play into it. So just as a little introduction, you live in Atlanta, Georgia. You're a native of Gaston, Alabama. Woo, woo.
Uh-huh.
Um, and you're a nurse. You've been
Yeah.
nursing for what, over 15 years?
Yeah, it's about 15. Yeah, over 15 years I've been in nursing field. Yes. Long time.
And now you're an author,
I'm sure. Yes.
author of a novel, because you also have another book, right? You have a
Yes,
self
except
help.
mm-hmm. Yes, How to Love Unconditionally. My first book released in
Okay.
2000, early 2019. Mm-hmm. Yes. So that was my first book. While I was writing the novel, that came to me to write the self-help book on how to love unconditionally. So it kind of
Hmm.
both of them kind of go hand in hand together. So it's a good read to read both of them
That's
together.
really awesome, Rosalind.
Thank
Um,
you.
I mean, my hat's off to you because I'm definitely not the writer. You got that side up. You got the smarts on that one. So I'm really excited about um, this novel, and regardless of how long it
Yeah.
took, the proof is here, and it's an exciting story. That what I've noticed so far is that you not only are writing a story, but you're
Yeah.
also intertwining today's issues. It's
Hmm.
got a lot of, it's got some life issues in it, some life lessons. And but at the end of the day, especially us as Christians, we know that love covers all. And so hearing this story, reading this story, and understanding how to love unconditionally is something
Yes.
big, because we have issues with that in our
Yeah.
country,
Yes.
in the
We
world.
do. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, we do. Um, that was one of the main reasons too why I started writing, because in this book is several instances on how we can love each other unconditionally and how sometimes we don't.
Mhm.
So like even right now we're having issues with race and hatred and stuff like that. So there's an instance in here where Erica has an experience with a racist cop actually,
Mhm.
but you have to read the book. It's good. It's juicy, but it's a perfect example how people can change, and it takes God to change our hearts. It's
Mhm.
not something we can do on our own. Sometimes things have to happen in order for us to change sometimes. But hey, however it has to be done, that's how, if that's how God has to get our attention, then to change, then he's gonna do what he has to do. But yeah, this is a good story. Just many instances, blended families, just neighborly love. It's a good book all the way around. It's not just a romance novel.
Okay. So you're going to share a bit with us, right?
Yes, I am. So the first two chapters, we learn a lot about Marcus and Erica, who are my main characters. Um, Marcus wasn't when they met. Marcus was not looking for a woman. He was happy with his life. With his son and just living life and spending time with his son, his family. And Erica definitely wasn't looking for a man because she's divorced only a few years, and she's having some trust issues. So she's definitely hasn't been interested in dating. So, but they have no control over that love at first sight. So this is basically what happens with Erica and Marcus. So in the first two chapters, they basically just learn a lot about each other. We kind of learn about their personalities and their giving parts. They're both giving people. So Marcus basically, he doesn't waste any time getting to know Erica or calling her or pursuing her. Erica's kind of, hesitant because, like I said, she's divorced. She's not trusting men right now. And then her ex keeps, slithering around. You know how that happens when any hint of us trying to move on or things brightening up, that ex comes crawling back, trying to anyway. So it's very good. But even her ex learns some lessons in this book. But God always, no matter what, God's grace always, pulls us through, and it can change our situation into something we never even thought of, just blessings. But yeah, the first two chapters, it is very informative, I can say. But yeah, we learned a lot about Marcus and Erica and Erica's mom, who's a bit animated, but Erica, that's her rock. She helps us through a lot of things as far as her marriage, her divorce, and moving on. So yes.
So are you gonna read us a bit, maybe about the section where Erica has the encounter with the cop?
Yes, I will. Hopefully nobody gets upset because I can't read those books. I think Oprah Winfrey did her book club did Cast. That's a good book, but I don't think I can read that book right now because it's a lot. It's about the caste system. So, yeah. So hopefully no one gets upset about it. But like I said, there's some changes that happens in this book. So that is chapter 7, actually, where Erica has the frightening encounter.
Well, just give us a snippet. Don't give us the whole thing. Share a little snippet to intrigue the people to order their book so they can start reading with me.
Okay. So chapter 7, Erica has a terrifying experience. It's page 197. License, registration, and proof of insurance, the officer said. Sure, but if you don't mind my asking, why did you pull me over? Erica replied, confused. She takes the same route home every day and always drives the speed limit. She knew for a fact that she had not been speeding, nor had she run a stop sign. Well, I noticed at the stop sign back there that you left your left brake light is out and you were driving too fast, about 3 miles over the speed limit. Too fast for this neighborhood. We don't drive like that over here. So at this point, Erica feels a little nerve rising at this point because he's being very racist. Like, the officer had never seen people of color in the neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood, apparently. So, but she remains calm. But after this point, it kind of turns, makes a turn for the worse. So it actually became a blessing that the officer pulled Erica over. not only did she save his life, but also his heart. Put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
He has a change of heart, literally, at this scene in the book, chapter 7, page 197.
Okay. All right.
Yes, yes. So that was a little snippet.
Okay. Well, we have some congratulations for you on Facebook. Jennifer White Bond says, proud of you, best friend. Dondra Sandrich says, congratulations.
Oh,
Janae
thank you.
Catherine Simmons says, congratulations. Tammy Davis sends you hearts.
Oh,
And lots of others are watching. And so
oh,
if you're just tuning in with us, we're talking about Rosalind's first novel that has hit the scene. And Rosalind is going to tell you how you can order that. But it's called Unconditional Love. And she's just giving us some snippets about her new novel and what we can expect as we're reading it. So tell the people what they can order.
so you can go on Amazon. I have a link on the invite and the event, and it's on my Facebook page and Instagram page, Amazon link, and also iUniverse.com. I also have a link for that one as well. And you can click those links and order your copy today, guys. Yes.
So, Rosalind, the type of book that you've written, like you said, it's not just a love story. There are lots of instances where people's lives are being changed. How do you see, or what are your expectations for the world? Because right now you've written a book that's for sale to anyone, and you're talking on the internet to the entire world. What's the message that you want to leave the people with?
So the main message is that we have to love each other, no matter the color of our skin, our religion, or if we're rich or poor. We have to love each other, because that's what Jesus came for, is to teach us how to love each other, not to criticize, judge, or put people in the caste system where you're superior because you're a certain color, or you a certain religion, or you have so much money. Because at the end of the day, we all going back to the same place we came from, and you can't take any of that with you. So we have to love each other. And just because yesterday somebody was hateful, nasty, and racist, don't mean they may be that way next week. Things happen where God would teach us hard lessons sometimes to make us change, to see ourselves and to change our heart so we can change our mind, because it's a heart thing. It's an inside thing. And only that's between that person and God, if they want to, if they're going to change their heart or not, and if they're going to be obedient enough to change their heart. Because, united we stand, divided we fall. It takes, we're in this together.
Yeah.
So we have to love each other, and then it also starts with us. We have to love each other as a people, to stand together, to even make a change in this world. You got to love yourself. It's like in a relationship, you got to love yourself first before anybody else can love you unconditionally. You have to love yourself first. But one of the big things in this book too, I talk about is Erica's from a blended family. And you know how some people very, jealous, spiteful, petty. If you in a relationship and you love that man or you love that woman and they have children before, you came together in a relationship, if you really love that person unconditionally, you're going to love those children that may not be yours, that was from a previous relationship. Yes, the blended family, we have to love each other. If you say you love that man or that woman, but you can't stand the kids because you're jealous of the other person, the mom or the dad, that's not love. Because you have to love those children. They're part of that man or that other woman. They're part. It's a package deal.
Right.
So if you're sincere, you have to love everything, the good, the bad, or what you don't like. If you don't like it, go find what you like. But children deserve to be loved. They deserve a healthy childhood. They deserve to be loved by both parents, even if it's a stepmom, stepdad. that is going to be there for them, just like they're their own child, you know, like they brought them into the world themselves. So yeah, it's a lot of that in here about the Erica comes from a healthy blended family, and her mom and her stepmom, they love each other like they were sisters.
That's
and
awesome.
it worked for everybody. Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So.
Blended families are important. Important to nourish, and I don't know that as a culture we spend enough time figuring that out. So thank you for tackling that issue as well. What are some of the other issues that come up in the book?
So Marcus has a son that he co-parent with Julia, his ex-girlfriend. They never married. There was a whole nother dramatic issue, but y'all gonna have to read that. That's a whole nother set of drama right there. But Julia's beautiful. But Julia, she's kind of, I wouldn't say she has low self-esteem, but she's always gotten what she wanted. So she has a dad that takes care of her every need. She gets what she wants. So when she gets grown, she thinks she can manipulate and get what she wants from her man. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just relying on being on herself and letting it naturally happen, she kind of ruined her relationship with Marcus. So they're co-parenting right now, and Julia's not loving herself enough to let go so that she can be happy herself and have her own healthy, loving relationship. So Julia learns some lessons in this book as well. But in the ending, y'all gonna be surprised what happens. But you're gonna have to read it. Get to that last chapter, you'll find out. Yes, okay. Yes.
So we gotta stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of juice in this book. I have a huge imagination. So between that fantasy and then my own life experiences and life lessons, this is where unconditional love comes from.
That's awesome. I heard another author say that she doesn't write for her audience. She writes for the characters. And so how did you kind of embody the characters for your book?
So Erica is a nurse practitioner. So it was easy for me to write for her. And then she's divorced as well. So we've all experienced some broken relationships. So of course I knew that side as well. But it's kind of different writing for a man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where fantasy come in my imagination. Okay. And then, you know, some experiences, getting to know, you know, certain men and have different values and morals. So Marcus is a good man. Now James, Erica's ex-husband, he wasn't so good, but he started out good, but turned out not so good. But yeah, a lot of imagination for the men, because like I don't think like a man. So yeah, it was a lot of imagination. But yeah. And then Miss Maddie, who is Erica's neighbor, kind of like a mom away from home. You know, her mom is a few 100 miles away from her. So because this book's kind of like an Atlanta, you know, background, kind of happens in Atlanta. But yeah, so Miss Maddie is like the mom away from home, and she's that neighbor. I wouldn't say she's nosy, but she's that neighbor that's gonna have your back. She's gonna have your back, and she's older, actually old enough to be Erica's grandmother, but she's kind of young, has a young personality. So Erica loves her to death. So they have a lot of good moments, interesting moments. Yeah, but I'm not gonna tell the whole book.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been great. We had some great people to join us today that are all wishing you great success.
Thank you.
Again, I am super excited for you in this new novel. I can't wait to hear the testimonials of people that are reading it. And we'll be back. I say in a few weeks when people kind of catch up with the reading, to take some questions, to kind of dig a little deeper and have a little, say, book club meeting.
Okay, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So we'll
there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. Yeah.
It's a lot to talk about. So this is exciting. Again, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
I only dream of ever writing a book. I cannot be still long enough.
Look, I'm ready for the movie now. So,
but that's another question I have. Is there a sequel? Or are we going straight to the screenplay?
You know what? God is something else. Because when I was doing my last proofreading of this book before, it went to print, I was thinking of stuff like in between chapters. Like, oh, this, that, and the other can happen. I'm gonna end up writing a second book. Mm-hmm. So, yes, it's gonna be a sequel. Okay. Yeah, awesome. Definitely. It's interesting. I'm like, everything just started coming at me at once. Oh, okay, I started writing notes. Okay. So I already started writing. Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. Yes, so look, people, if you're just joining us, don't forget to order your book, Unconditional Love, the first novel by Rosalind Castleberry. You can find it on Amazon.com or iUniverse.com. And if you follow Rosalind on Facebook or Instagram, you can find the link directly on her page. Any other final words for the people?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today and taking your time out to order and read my books. Thank you for the support. But this is a wonderful story. I'm not just saying it because I wrote it. But this is, something we need in this world right now. Some love. Because this world is changing.
Yes.
And it's only love can heal what's going on right now and change what's going on right now.
Very true.
Yes.
Well, God bless you, Rosalind, and continue writing. God bless you, friends and family, for joining us today. Wishing you a super great and dope God week, and we will see you back soon.
Yes. Bye-bye.